Hello, everyone. Today I'm sharing how outsourced graphic designers should deal with inspiration-driven clients. Use this questioning approach to implement their needs. This is the type of client that many outsourced graphic designers and design teams find most troublesome and prone to internal friction. Because the reality is often, the client has many ideas. Inspiration comes quickly. The direction changes constantly. You nod and take notes while thinking, this project is going to be revised forever. But the truth is, inspiration-driven clients aren't the problem. The problem is that you're using the wrong communication methods. First, the conclusion. Inspiration-driven clients need to be accepted, but not followed. Many outsourcing projects fail not because the client has too many ideas, but because you accept every single idea. The result is, the direction keeps expanding. The judgment criteria keep drifting. Every version feels like an impromptu draft. Inspiration-driven clients need to be accepted, not made to follow. 2. Why does following inspiration inevitably lead to endless revisions? Because inspiration itself has 3 characteristics. 1. It's driven by emotion. 2. It doesn't have inherent priority. 3. It's often just a partial visual image. When you don't organize your thoughts, inspiration becomes one direction today, a different feeling tomorrow, overturning the previous day's ideas the day after tomorrow. The problem isn't having too much inspiration, but rather not having it implemented. 3. The core strategy for dealing with inspiration-driven clients: replace execution with problems. Truly professional outsourcing doesn't immediately draw up diagrams after the client presents their inspiration. Instead, they first ask questions, translating the inspiration into actionable conditions. IV. This 6-question method for implementing inspiration, very useful. The following 6 questions are not meant to question the client, but to help them turn their ideas into judgment criteria. You can use them directly. Question 1. What problem does this inspiration aim to solve? When the client says, I suddenly have an idea, don't immediately start drawing. Instead, first ask, what problem do you hope it solves? Is it more appealing, easier to understand, or more brand-oriented? Once the goal is clear, many inspirations will automatically be filtered out. Question 2. If you can only keep one point, which is the most important? Inspiration-driven clients often want multiple points simultaneously. You need to help them choose. If you can only choose the most important one, which one should we keep? This isn't opposition. It's forcing a priority. Question 3. Is this in long-term direction or just a trial? This step is crucial. You can ask, is this a style we'll use in the future, or is this a test? If it's a test, allow for risk. If it's long-term, you must be cautious. Many reworks stem from this one step not being clarified. Question 4. Are there any unchangeable bottom lines? Inspiration often pushes boundaries, so you must confirm in reverse. Are there any things that absolutely cannot be changed? For example, color, tone, core, selling point. Having bottom lines prevents inspiration from flying too far. Question 5. If it conflicts with the previous direction, whose opinion should be followed? This question helps protect your workflow. You can say it gently. If this idea conflicts with our previously confirmed direction, should we prioritize this one or maintain the original direction? This step provides an exit strategy. Question 6. To what extent is this version considered okay? Inspiration-driven clients are most prone to getting caught up in feelings. You need to help him define the endpoint in advance. If this version achieves these points, would you feel it's ready to wrap up? Once the endpoint is clear, inspiration is no longer a bottomless pit. V. Why does this questioning method significantly reduce rework? Because you've done 3 things. Turn emotional inspiration into a goal. Turn divergent ideas into choices. Turn vague feelings into standards. When the judgment standard is in place, revisions will change from repeated trials to gradual completion. 6. A practical example to help you quickly understand the client says, I suddenly feel it can be a bit more sophisticated. Incorrect response. Immediately add decorations, change the style, pile on visual effects. The correct way to ask is this sophistication for building trust or for creating a more memorable impression? If you could only choose one way to demonstrate sophistication, which would you prefer? Is this something to be used consistently in the future, or just something to try out for this event? You'll find that inspiration is quickly compressed into 1 to 2 actionable points. A word of truth for outsourcing companies often tormented by inspiration-driven clients. Inspiration-driven clients aren't there to torture you. They're simply, think fast, speak ramblingly, but aren't good at converging ideas. When you're willing to help them converge, instead of letting them fly around, the collaboration will be much smoother. In short, when dealing with inspiration-driven clients, what outsourcing companies really need to do isn't to create multiple drafts, but rather, use questions to connect inspiration, use choices to compress direction, use standards to define the endpoint. When inspiration is translated into judgment criteria, the design will truly come to fruition, instead of forever thinking, the next version might be better.